Welcome to the Political Oracle, a segment of the Talkchat podcast. My name is Pendo Setim. Before we go to matters at hand, let me give you our today's political benediction. Abraham Lincoln, the 16th American president, once said that nearly all men can stand adversity, but if you want to test a man's character, give him power. Today, we have a political analyst, Dr. Michael Ndonye. Welcome, Sana Daktari.
Asante.
How are you today?
Good, are you?
I'm very fine.
Yeah.
Now, Gachagua's residence have been raided.
Mm-hmm.
What do you make of that?
Okay, thank you. I think the last time we were discussing here, we discussed the issue of Rigathi Gachagua, the former deputy president, launching his party. And then there were tensions, and then there was that interview that followed, I think, one day after. Mm-hmm. And of course, I think much of Gachagua's travels creep in from that particular interview.
Yeah.
Of course, because of some things that he said that the government and also some political analysts and also security analysts think that they were a bit sensitive. Mm-hmm. So I think there has been also there are allegations that he is being sought by the DCI or the police.
Yeah.
And also that there were Munyoro enterprises under siege by the security details, especially from the government. Mm-hmm. So I think my take is it depends from where we are studying, because we listened to the interview. Of course, most of the things that he said are a bit sensitive. Mm-hmm. Others are just pure politicking. So, of course, we are used to this kind of politics. Politicians are used to playing around with people's emotions. And when they are hungry like he is, remember we said Gachagua is a hungry person, because he has been evicted from the government that he considers himself as a stakeholder. Mm-hmm. So we are still waiting to see what is to come out of it, but it depends with the interpretation of what he said.
Okay.
Many of us think, as I have just said, some of the things that he said them in a way that is a bit sensitive, and that is likely to incite people. As I have just said, that is how they do politics. Mm-hmm. And politics in this country is about emotions. It's about whipping people's emotions in order to drive an agenda. Mm-hmm. So I think that is what I can say. As to how I can interpret the arrest, of course, it can either be political, it can also be an issue of security. Mm-hmm. Yes.
And what if you interpret it as a political matter, what does the government lose or stand to gain in this whole situation?
Okay, there is that intertwining of what is politics and what is not politics.
Yeah.
Because the government will defend itself and say they have the right to defend the security of their citizens. Mm-hmm. It is also in the Constitution that as you exercise your rights of expression, there are some things that you should not cross. Mm-hmm. There are some limitations to every right that has been accorded to us in Chapter 4 of our Constitution.
Okay.
And one of these rights is when you are expressing right of expression, it should not amount to incitement. Mm-hmm. It should not amount to propaganda. Mm-hmm. And of course, very many other limitations. Mm-hmm. And I think the government can defend itself from that point of view, that it is defending the Constitution. Mm-hmm. On the other side, I know the Gachagua and other politicians aligned to him will say this is being politicized.
Okay.
But I think it is time this country, we differentiate what is political and what is not political. If we politicize violence, incitement to violence, it's just like we also do in that other things, we politicize corruption.
Okay.
Some person has been caught stealing public money, and we start saying, oh, we are targeting a certain ethnic group, we are targeting a certain section of the region. I think we should differentiate that. If Gachagua, and he knows very well, and he has lawyers, he has advisors, if he feels that he, in his way of expressing his anger, in his way of political expression, he mentioned some things that can lead to incitement or insecurity of this country in the future. I think he should just apologize, agree that he did a mistake, so that he does clean politics. Because that is what we want. We don't want, at the end of it, Kenyans fighting in this country. Yeah.
So he should apologize for his remarks.
As much as I praise him for his influence, I did not, and many people did not take it kindly, especially when he said in 2027, if the IEBC declares William Ruto as winner, that we are going to have a violence. Of course, he intimated that 2007 will look like Christmas. It means there is going to be violence. I don't think that was responsible of him. I think he should have expressed his whatever otherwise. And of course, look here, what if Ruto wins? Yeah, because you cannot intimidate an independent institution into refusing to declare someone who has won an election. So he should go into this election not through intimidation, but with a sober mind that he can lose. And the same thing also with William Ruto. He can lose. Any other candidate can lose or win. So we cannot say, because we do not like someone, because someone is not performing like we want, he must lose an election. What if they win? And then when we say, if they win, we are not going to agree. I think that is beyond what we should be thinking in the year 2025. We should go into elections with a sober mind so that every candidate presents their manifesto. They tell Kenyans what they are going to do. If Kenyans decide this is the person we want, then let it be. And the IBC is bound by the law to swear a person who has won an election. Actually, that is how it's supposed to be. As to whether the election is stolen or it is not stolen, that is neither here nor there. It's a story now that should be handled using the right channels. And I think we need more peace than violence in 2027. There is no leader whom citizens should die for. Because we have seen in this country citizens dying for the sake of the interests of leaders who do not die themselves. They have existed for decades. But our children, our fathers, our mothers, our women are dying. And then after that, we have a handshake. So we should not tolerate, and I think the country should not tolerate anyone who is taking us to that direction. And I think as a responsible citizen, I think Gachagua should just apologize for that. And then they continue. They should sort those issues, other political issues, they should sort them in a responsible way.
Yeah, because I've seen some leaders in the government, they have just said that Gachagua should focus on his new party and not make such remarks.
Of course, he should focus on his own party, and we are not. He should not be intimidated not to criticize the government.
Yeah,
he is now the person who is being seen as a good critic to the government. He should keep the government in check. He should critique the government. He should criticize the government. But while he is doing so, because it's freedom, and it is our freedom, it's our right to criticize the government. But let us do that responsibly. without inciting Kenyans.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much for your insights, Daktari. This is the Political Oracle. Until we meet next time.